There is a law of increase that responds not to wishing, but to decision. Money does not answer need, it answers command. The moment you decide, clearly, calmly, and without apology, that you will prosper, the unseen forces rearrange themselves to obey. The next 90 days are not about struggle or sacrifice. They are about alignment, courage, and precision. Ruthless does not mean cruel. Ruthless means undistracted. The first principle is declaration. What you tolerate continues. What you declare transforms. Speak your intention as a finished fact. Say it quietly if you must, but say it with certainty. I now move into my rightful income. Every day value seeks me and rewards me. Words are seeds. Spoken with conviction, they carry orders into the invisible realm, and the invisible never disobeys. For 90 days you remove hesitation from your speech. You do not say I hope, I try, or maybe. You say I am, I have, and I receive. This is not positive thinking, it is lawful thinking. When your language changes, your world follows. The second principle is ruthless focus. Prosperity comes through one clear channel at a time. Scatter your attention and you scatter your returns. Choose the single activity that brings the greatest reward for your time and pour your energy there. Not 10 things, one thing done with devotion. The universe loves concentration. It rushes to support the person who knows where they are going. During these 90 days, say no without guilt. Say no to distractions that flatter but do not pay. Say no to conversations that drain your faith. Say no to habits that leak energy. Every no creates space for a larger yes. Space is sacred, it is where increase enters. The third principle is fearless value. Money is the shadow of service rendered with confidence. You do not beg for it, you allow it. You raise your standards, not someday, but now. You charge according to the value you deliver, not according to your fear of rejection. Fear is expensive. Confidence is profitable. When doubt arises, answer it with action. Do the call, send the proposal, make the offer. The universe cannot reward intentions that remain hidden. Action is faith made visible. Each bold step is a signal that you are ready to receive more. The fourth principle is cleansing. Old beliefs are unpaid debts of the mind. Release the idea that money is hard, scarce, or reserved for others. Those thoughts were never yours, you inherited them. Now you return them to nothing. Say, I release every false belief about money. I accept my good now. What you release releases you. Also cleanse your environment. Order invites order. Clear your desk, your inbox, your schedule. A tidy outer world reflects a ready inner world. When you prepare for abundance, abundance prepares for you. The fifth principle is gratitude in advance. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a magnet. Give thanks before the evidence appears. Thankfulness declares faith. Each morning, give thanks for the income that is unfolding, for the opportunities moving toward you, for the ideas being impressed upon your mind. Gratitude shortens time. What might have taken years arrives in months when it is welcomed. The sixth principle is unwavering self-respect. Ruthless prosperity requires that you stop explaining yourself. You do not argue for your worth. You embody it. You show up on time, prepared and present. You keep your word to yourself first. Integrity multiplies income because it builds invisible capital that always pays interest. If setbacks appear, do not dramatize them. Delay is not denial, it is refinement. Stay steady. Speak the word again. Act again. Faith is proven by repetition. The seventh principle is daily alignment. For 90 days, begin and end each day with a simple decree. Infinite intelligence directs my actions today. I am led to profitable ideas and generous people. My income increases in perfect ways. This is not ritual. It is relationship. You are cooperating with a power that delights in your success. Finally, expect surprise. Money rarely comes through the door you are staring at. It arrives through unexpected channels, chance meetings, sudden ideas, and swift decisions. Be ready to say yes. Speed is a form of faith. At the end of 90 days, you will not only have more money, you will be a different person. You will think differently, speak differently, and decide differently. And because the outer world must mirror the inner, your income will have no choice but to rise. This is the ruthless strategy. Decide, focus, value, cleanse, give thanks, respect yourself, and act without delay. When you align with the law of increase, money stops chasing you and begins to recognize you. Unwavering decision is the moment when the invisible world receives a clear order. Until that moment, life mirrors hesitation, half-choices, and divided intentions. Money, like all forms of supply, does not respond to longing or complaint. It responds to certainty. When a person decides without retreat, without inner argument, without waiting for permission, the mind aligns with a higher law that moves circumstances into order. A weak decision produces weak results, but a firm decision acts like a command spoken into the unseen, and the unseen never debates, it only obeys. Most people think they have decided, yet they continue to negotiate with fear. They say they want increase, but they also prepare for disappointment. This double-mindedness creates delay. The law of prosperity requires clarity, not effort. The moment you decide, truly decide, the path begins to reveal itself step by step. You are not required to see the whole road, only to stand firmly on the first square. Indecision is not humility, it is disbelief disguised as caution. A real decision changes your inner posture. Your words become clean and direct. You stop saying if and begin saying when. You stop asking life for signs and begin acting as though guidance is already present. This inner shift is subtle, yet it rearranges everything. People respond differently to you. Opportunities appear without force, and ideas arrive fully formed because the mind has stopped arguing with itself. Money flows towards certainty because certainty removes resistance. Resistance is created by doubt, guilt, and the belief that one must struggle to deserve more. When you decide, you release the need to justify your desire. You no longer explain why you want more money, you accept it as natural order. Increase is not a reward for suffering, it is the result of alignment. Decision is alignment made conscious. The mind must be trained to stand still on its choice. Thoughts will rise that challenge the decision, reminding you of past failures or current limitations. These thoughts are not truth, they are habits. You do not wrestle with them, you replace them. Each time doubt appears, you calmly return to your decision as a finished fact. The inner conversation becomes disciplined, and discipline is a form of faith. When decision is unwavering, action becomes effortless. You no longer force yourself to move. Movement happens because the path feels inevitable. You make calls you once postponed, speak with clarity where you once hesitated, and remove options that dilute your focus. This is not aggression, it is alignment. The universe recognizes alignment instantly and responds with speed. Many believe they must wait for confidence before deciding, but confidence is born from decision, not the other way around. The soul recognizes truth the moment it is claimed. When you decide, confidence rises naturally because the mind no longer leaks energy in all directions. Power gathers where attention is held. Attention follows decision. There is also a moral clarity that comes with unwavering choice. You stop accepting situations that contradict your intention. You no longer tolerate being undervalued, delayed, or dismissed. What you tolerate is what you agree with, and agreement shapes results. Decision redraws boundaries, and boundaries create respect, both inwardly and outwardly. A decided mind is attractive. It carries authority without force. Others sense it, even if they cannot explain it. This is why opportunities often arrive through people who suddenly think of you, recommend you, or invite you into spaces that once felt closed. Decision sends a signal beyond logic. It announces readiness. Unwavering decision also requires release. You must release old identities that were built around lack, struggle, or waiting. You cannot decide for increase while clinging to the comfort of excuses. Excuses protect the ego but starve the future. Decision dissolves excuses because it makes results more important than stories. Each day the decision must be reaffirmed, not with emotion, but with calm authority. You do not beg life to cooperate, you expect cooperation. Expectation is the silent language of faith. When expectation is steady, fear loses its voice. Fear thrives on uncertainty, and decision removes uncertainty at the root. The law responds fastest when the decision is internal before it is external. You may say nothing to anyone. change nothing outwardly at first, yet everything begins to move, because the inner command has been issued. Outer action follows inner authority. Without inner authority, action feels heavy and inconsistent. Money recognizes leadership. Leadership begins within. The person who decides leads their own mind, and the mind leads circumstances. When you lead yourself, supply follows because supply must follow direction. Chaos produces confusion, decision produces order, order attracts resources naturally. Unwavering decision does not mean impatience, it means steadiness. You do not rush, you remain. You do not panic at silence, you trust timing. Decision holds its ground even when results are not immediate. This steadiness is what allows miracles to appear ordinary and sudden gains to feel inevitable. The moment you decide, you stop asking whether it will work and begin asking how you are being guided today. The question changes, and with it, the answers change. Guidance becomes practical, simple, and specific. One step reveals the next. The path opens as you walk it. A decided person does not compare timelines. Comparison is a form of doubt. You recognize that your good arrives in its own perfect sequence. When envy appears, you bless it and release it, knowing that what is visible in another's life is proof of availability, not competition. Decision also purifies desire. What you truly decide for remains. What was rooted in ego or fear falls away. This purification makes the goal lighter, cleaner, and easier to carry. You are no longer chasing money. You are allowing it to meet you at the level of your clarity. As the days pass, the decision embeds itself deeper into your identity. You no longer say you are trying to increase your income. You know you are living in increase. Language shifts naturally. Behavior follows effortlessly. Results accumulate quietly. The world does not need to be convinced. The law has already heard you. Your only task is to remain loyal to your decision when old patterns ask you to retreat, when logic demands proof before faith, when habit tries to reclaim authority. Loyalty to your decision is loyalty to your future. When the decision is unwavering, you stop preparing for failure. You prepare for reception. You organize your life as though increase is already underway because it is. Preparation is faith in motion. You make space mentally, emotionally, and practically. A decided mind rests even while moving. There is no inner argument, no constant questioning. This inner rest is powerful. It allows intuition to speak clearly and timing to unfold gracefully. Strain disappears because strain was never required. Money follows the path of least resistance, and resistance dissolves in the presence of certainty. When you know, truly know, that increase is your rightful state, you stop pushing against life and begin cooperating with it. Cooperation multiplies results faster than effort ever could. Unwavering decision is not dramatic, it is quiet, firm, and final. It does not shout, it stands. And because it stands, everything else begins to move around it, reshaping itself to match the inner command that has already been given. Ruthless focus is the discipline of honoring one direction with your full attention and refusing to fracture your power. Energy scattered across many desires produces little return, while energy gathered into a single channel creates momentum that feels almost effortless. Life responds to concentration because concentration is clarity in motion. When you focus without apology, the law of increase recognizes a clear pathway and begins to supply it. Most people believe they are unfocused because they lack time, but the truth is that they lack priority. Focus is not created by managing hours, it is created by choosing what matters and letting the rest fall away. The moment you choose one primary objective and commit to it, confusion fades. The mind relaxes because it no longer has to juggle competing futures. Peace arrives not because the work is finished, but because direction has been chosen. Ruthless focus requires the courage to disappoint distractions. Many opportunities appear important, but are only noise dressed as promise. If it does not move you closer to your chosen outcome, it is not an opportunity, it is a delay. Delay is costly because it drains enthusiasm and weakens belief. Focus protects belief by giving it a single place to grow. When attention is unified, actions become simpler. You stop overthinking because there is less to think about. Decisions that once felt heavy become obvious. You no longer ask whether something is good in general, you ask whether it serves your focus. This single question saves enormous energy and prevents the quiet exhaustion that comes from constant choice-making. Money follows focus because focus creates mastery. Mastery is rewarded naturally. When you stay with one skill, one market, one service, your value deepens. Depth always outperforms breadth in the realm of increase. The world pays more for excellence than for variety, and excellence is born from repetition guided by intention. Ruthless focus also purifies desire. When you commit to nay path, superficial wants lose their grip. You stop chasing validation, novelty, or quick wins and begin building something that compounds. Compounding is the hidden miracle of focus. Small daily actions, when aligned and repeated, produce results that seem disproportionate to the effort applied. Distraction often disguises itself as productivity. Busy minds feel important, but busy minds are rarely profitable. Focused minds are calm, direct, and effective. They do not rush, yet they accomplish more because every movement has purpose. Purpose removes friction, and friction is what makes work feel heavy. To focus ruthlessly is to set boundaries without guilt. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They allow in what supports your direction and keep out what dilutes it. Each boundary you set returns energy to you. Energy is currency, and when it is conserved, it multiplies. Focus also sharpens intuition. When the mind is not crowded with competing goals, guidance becomes clear, ideas arrive fully formed, timing becomes precise, and you sense when to act and when to wait. This is not guesswork, it is alignment. The universe communicates best with a quiet, attentive mind. Many fear focus because they think it limits freedom. In truth, focus creates freedom by producing results. Results reduce anxiety, increase confidence, and open doors that distraction never could. Freedom is not found in having endless options, it is found in having a path that works. Ruthless focus means choosing quality over quantity in every area. Fewer commitments, deeper engagement. Fewer conversations, more meaningful ones. Fewer tasks, greater impact. This simplicity is not minimalism for its own sake. It is efficiency aligned with purpose. The mind resists focus at first because it is accustomed to stimulation. Distraction has become a habit. When you remove it, discomfort may arise. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong, it is a sign that power is returning. Stay with it. Soon clarity replaces restlessness, and restlessness is revealed as wasted energy. When focus is consistent, momentum builds. Momentum is powerful because it reduces effort. Each step forward makes the next step easier. Confidence grows naturally because progress is visible. Visible progress strengthens belief, and belief accelerates results. Ruthless focus also simplifies communication. You speak more clearly because you know what you are about. Others understand you easily, trust you more quickly, and remember you longer. Clarity is magnetic. People are drawn to those who know their direction. The environment responds to focus as well. Resources appear, connections align, and timing improves. This is not coincidence, it is coherence. When your inner world is coherent, the outer world mirrors it. Fragmentation creates delay, coherence creates flow. Focus demands the willingness to let go of good things to make room for great ones. This is often the hardest part. Good thin. GS feels safe. Great things require commitment. Ruthless focus chooses the long-term gain over the short-term comfort. Comfort rarely builds wealth, commitment does. Each day, focus must be renewed gently but firmly. You return to your chosen direction without self-criticism. You do not punish yourself. For moments of distraction, you simply redirect. Redirection is power exercised kindly. The focused person does not wait for motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Focus remains. It is sustained by decision, not emotion. When emotion dips, focus carries you forward until inspiration returns stronger than before. As focus deepens, time seems to expand. Tasks that once took hours are completed in minutes because the mind is present. Presence eliminates waste. Waste is the silent enemy of growth. Money multiplies where focus is steady because steady focus builds systems, habits, and reputations. These continue to produce even when effort pauses. This is leverage, and leverage is the secret companion of focus. Ruthless focus does not isolate you from life. It integrates you with it. Everything you do supports a single intention, and this unity creates strength. Strength attracts opportunity effortlessly. When focus becomes your natural state, struggle fades. You are no longer pulled in many directions, you are moving powerfully in one. The path ahead feels clear not because it is easy, but because you are no longer divided. Fearless value begins with the recognition that worth is not something you negotiate, it is something you embody. When you understand the value you bring, money no longer feels like something you chase, but something that responds. Wealth moves toward confidence because confidence signals readiness. Hesitation sends mixed messages, but clarity announces authority, and authority is always compensated. Many people work hard yet remain underpaid because they secretly doubt their own value. This doubt leaks into their voice, their posture, their pricing, and their decisions. The world reflects that doubt faithfully. When you remove it, the reflection changes. Fearless value is not arrogance, it is alignment with truth. You are not claiming more than you give, you are finally giving without shrinking. Value is not measured by effort, but by impact. Two people may work the same hours, yet one is rewarded far more because their work solves a clearer problem or delivers a stronger result. Fearless value means you focus on outcomes, not approval. You stop asking whether people will like your price and start asking whether your work truly delivers what it promises. Money responds to clarity of exchange. When you are clear about what you offer and why it matters, resistance dissolves. Confusion creates negotiation. Clarity creates acceptance. People pay confidently when they understand the value clearly and feel the certainty behind it. Fear often disguises itself as humility. You tell yourself you are being modest, flexible, or kind. In truth, you are avoiding rejection. Rejection is not a verdict on your worth, it is a filter. Fearless value allows the filter to work. Those who recognize your value stay. Those who do not fall away without drama. When you raise your standards internally, your external standards rise naturally. You prepare better, communicate better, and deliver better because you respect your own work. Self-respect is contagious. Others sense it and respond accordingly. Fearless value also requires clean boundaries. You do not over-explain, over-deliver, or over-compromise. Overdoing is often a sign of insecurity. True value is calm. It does not rush to prove itself. It allows the work to speak. As you embody value, you stop apologizing for wanting more. Desire is not greed, it is guidance. The desire for increased income often points to increased capacity. You are meant to handle more, serve more, and receive more. Fearless value accepts this expansion without guilt. Pricing becomes an expression of self-trust. You charge what reflects the depth of your experience, the quality of your attention, and the results you produce. You understand that lowering your price to feel safe only attracts situations that confirm fear. Courage attracts respect. The moment you stop negotiating with fear, your behavior changes subtly but powerfully. You speak more slowly. You listen more intently. You decide more quickly. These signals communicate confidence beyond words. Confidence invites opportunity because it suggests reliability. Fearless value transforms work from labor into leadership. You are no longer just performing tasks, you are guiding outcomes. Leadership is rewarded because it reduces uncertainty for others. People pay to feel certain. Many believe they must wait until they feel ready to claim their value. Readiness is revealed by action. Each time you honor your worth, courage grows. Courage compounds just like income. Small acts of self-respect accumulate into a powerful identity shift. When fear arises, you do not suppress it, you outgrow it. You return to the results you create, the problems you solve, and the lives you improve. Evidence dissolves fear. Fear thrives on abstraction, value is concrete. Fearless value also means choosing clients, projects, and environments that match your standards. Misalignment drains energy and dulls performance. Alignment sharpens it. When you are well matched, excellence feels natural rather than forced. As you align with value, you notice that money flows with less resistance. Conversations become simpler. Negotiations shorten. Decisions finalize faster. Ease is not laziness, it is the sign of congruence. Fearless value requires patience with growth. You do not expect instant validation from everyone. You allow your reputation to build steadily, knowing that consistency creates trust. Trust is the true currency behind money. You also stop confusing busyness with importance. Important work produces results. Results justify value. When results are clear, you no longer need to convince anyone. The more you embody value, the more you attract opportunities that require leadership rather than labor. Leadership multiplies income because it scales impact. Impact is what the world rewards most generously. Fearless value changes your inner dialogue. You no longer ask, "Am I good enough?" You ask, "Is this aligned with my standards?" This shift moves power back into your hands. As your standards rise, so does your discernment. You recognize when to say yes and when to walk away. Walking away from what undervalues you creates space for what honors you. Space is essential for expansion. Fearless value also deepens gratitude. You appreciate fair exchange because it affirms balance. You give fully and receive fully. There is no imbalance, no resentment, no exhaustion. Balance sustains success. When you embody fearless value, money becomes a byproduct rather than a pursuit. It arrives as confirmation that alignment is present. You are no longer chasing worth through income. Income is reflecting worth already claimed. This inner alignment creates a quiet authority that cannot be imitated. It is earned through self-trust, reinforced through action, and expressed through calm confidence. Others feel safe investing in someone who invests in themselves. Fearless value is the decision to stand in your contribution without shrinking, without apology, without fear of being seen. When you allow yourself to be fully visible in your worth, the world adjusts its response accordingly.